Hello there everyone, it's King Sloth back again with another army video, but I guess you could say generic military video because it covers sort of army, RAF and navy in this video, but it will be put in the British Army playlist because it's military related and that's the only playlist I've got for the military. For those who don't know me, you can call me Sloth. I was in the British Army for just under 7 years, forced transferring across to the Royal Air Force where I've done now just over 2 years, coming towards my 3rd year in the RAF. I like to do different videos, do reaction videos, do video logs, do gaming videos occasionally, and I also live stream every now and then. But this video is mainly how to pick your role within the military. For those who don't know, I was in the Royal Signal, so I worked at computers. I'm going to go through my way of deciding what I wanted to do before going into my now knowledge about it, really. So for me, I was always interested in working in like computers and technology side of things. So I looked online, looked at the jobs which were open at the British Army. Well, they were in demand jobs, I think they were called on the website. In other words, that meant you'd go through into your training faster normally, because if they're in demand for that job, they want to get you in there as fast as possible rather than the ones which are oversubscribed. That's a really common thing. You'll see it on near enough every other military website as well. Like, you'll see chefs are always on there, drivers are always on there, operators occasionally on there. But I saw it and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't really know much about that job. So I found someone who, like, worked in that job, asked him, and he said, this is what it's like, this is what it trains like. Give you a real insight into the job and what to expect. So the first one I actually looked at to doing was a Royal Military Police. That was actually going to be my original job before I asked him about it, and he was like, it's a good role, but some of the things you get asked to do are crazy. So he pretty much told me to get off it. I then thought, you know what, the communication systems engineer looks good. Once again, I said a lot of work with computers. This job was sold to me like this big tech world and whatnot, and you get trained to do this and you can get a degree in this and do that, work in everything cyber. Which, for those who don't know, or really they should know, technology is going to be the biggest thing in the world. Highest paid jobs are probably in the technology industry, AI industry, cybersecurity industry. The highest paid jobs in Civvy Street are involved in them sort of areas. So for me, I found what I enjoyed doing and went along that route first. When that sort of fell through, the idea in my head, I was like, okay, where should I look for to go in, get my skill set up, working on getting like hands-on experience on the kit? How can I get that relevant to what I want to do in Civvy Street? So that's when the communication systems engineer in the Royal Signals came about. Did my training down in Blandford and then straight into the unit. Really enjoyed my time in the army working on the kit. Ended up working on a particular set of kit for about 4 years, and then eventually just got moved around to every other bit of kit, and then I think I'd had enough of the army, to be honest, at that point. But my advice to you with regards to picking a role, first thing, before you even look at any of the jobs, you want to look at what you want to do. Like, what sort of job you want. Would you like to work outside constantly? Would you like to drive? Do you want to go exploring all the time? Do you want to work in the tech industry, the food industry? Anything like that, any sort of like key points that you can think of beforehand will narrow down your search massively. Absolutely narrow it down. I know people that literally just looked at the in-demand jobs and picked one that was going to be easiest to get to, really. I know one of my mates picked to be a chef. He did his minimum service, left, and he's not a chef. And he's like, I've just wasted so many years of my life. Yes, it looks good on his CV. Being in the military looks really good to most people. However, if it looks good in your CV if it's a relevant job that you're applying for that you did in the military. So it's all like, so for him it was like, what experience do you have working in the management industry? Oh, I don't. I was a chef. It's like, stupid. So what you need to do is look what you enjoy first. Pick them points. Go onto the Army, RAF, Navy website. Look at these jobs. Narrow it down to aim for 5. That's what I did. Aim for 5 different jobs that you think you can apply for. These jobs can be right. The job list in the military is absolutely huge. There's so many different things that you can do, and once you get into that unit or into that corps, you could then re-specialise, retrade everything. Even when you get in, you can retrade into a different corps entirely, and do something which you didn't think you wanted to, but once you're in the military, you think that looks good. I want to try that, and you can transfer across. Like I transferred across service, I went from army to RAF, but you can transfer across corps. So I know people who went from the Royal Signals to the Royal Military Police to the engineers. I know engineers who became ciggies. I know Navy who came to the army. And it happens. But the best advice I could give for people looking to find their role in the military is to consider the military. Unless you're doing your entire service, your 22 years. So it's been, the people who do a lot of time service pretty much. Look at it as a stepping stone. Look at the different jobs you'd like to do in Civvy Street. Yes, they might be like, oh, okay, I haven't got that qualification, I haven't got that experience, I haven't got this, I haven't got that. Join the military in that sort of sector. So for me, I wanted to work in cyber. I knew that I either wanted to go into intelligence or the Royal Signals. And then I use that as my stepping stone. Now I'm still using a stepping stone in the military for when I get out. The RAF is known, a lot of people, especially for recruiters as well. Oh, phone's dropped. It's known more as a big boy job. It's more civilian orientated, definitely in the Royal Air Force compared to the Army. However, people still respect the Army because they are very, very well disciplined. And they're aware of that. So most people who I know who leave the military get snatched up pretty quick by recruiters. It's just a fact because we have skills that most people in civilian life who join straight into that job, they won't have. They won't have some of the skills that we have, and that's just a fact. It's a fact. So yeah, look at what you want to do. Well, look at what you enjoy first. Rule number one. Rule number two. Go onto the military websites. Narrow your job search down to about 5. 3. Find someone who serves, or someone who serves currently, or someone who has served in that corps, military, so on. Actually ask them what they do. Ask them what they do, the pros and cons of it, then you weigh it up yourself. Make that list smaller and smaller and smaller. Once you've got your one or two, you apply, get it done. But remember, if you're not doing your 22 years, use it as a stepping stone. Get as much experience as you can in that role while you're still in. Get as many qualifications done as you can while you're in, because the military will help you with qualifications, give you different learning credits and whatnot, so you can get your qualifications done. Once you're out, you've got the military on your CV. You should already be qualified up by the time you leave. It's a no-brainer. But that is how I recommend you pick a role within the military. If you did like this video, leave a like, comment and subscribe. We're going to aim for 5 likes in this video. Just 5, not that bad. Comment any questions you want down below. I'll answer them pretty much straight away. That's my whole thing. I like to answer the comments as soon as they come in. That's what I like to do. Subscribe, around for 4K by the end of the year. It's been King Sloth. See you in a bit.